Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Kamen Rider Zero Spike back again once again. And today, people, today we're here for Kamen Rider GAVV episode 9, and in this episode we get the debut of our big Hulkbuster lollipop form with a big old Gatling gun. And I knew there had to be a reason why his big four-wheeler bike had like the spokes on the side of the rims, because I like, man, this freaking bike is gonna be used for something later. Like, I knew it was absolutely freaking awesome. They turned this thing into a big old freaking Gatling gun. Yeah, but in this episode, it's good. This episode basically is gonna be like a two-parter. This episode was primarily Valen. It was primarily Hunto, and seeing how Hunto is basically investigating a bunch of people being like majority children, which is terrible, but majority children are being, you know, kidnapped in this tunnel place. And then Hunto basically investigating that. He ends up meeting this little girl who this little girl who's basically been hearing about the stuff, and he's trying, like, he basically is trying to like ask her questions and things like that, and basically befriends her in this episode. And he's trying to like investigate, get information and things like that. So it's primarily a Valen, you know, episode. We see that Shoma is helping Sachika with like some work and stuff, like some Halloween based stuff, because this is sort of like a Halloween episode, which is why he ends up getting the lollipop form in this episode. But we see that he's basically just doing regular work and stuff like that, but we also see that the twins are scheming against him. They're plotting against him, trying to get another chance from their from big brother, and he basically gives them another chance. They have 10 days to prove themselves, and they can get back on the payroll. So they end up getting this special device from Nilov, and they get this device from him, and this device is actually going to be used for later. But yeah, we see that Hanzo is actually he's handing out candy to kids and stuff, and he's also getting candy for himself. He's dressed as a big pumpkin and stuff, and we see that he is kind of getting looked at kind of weirdly by people, because he's an adult but going around saying trick or treat, you know. It's not really weird technically, but like, if you're an adult but you're still a kid at heart, man, you still gonna be doing stuff that you still gonna be doing some things that kids would do. So yeah, Hunto really doesn't really come into contact with this little girl, but he does come in contact with her like at least one time, and he ends up handing her candy and stuff, and then he actually finds out that some people don't like sweets, and that kind of like trips him out. But yeah, so we see that Hunto did come in contact with the monster he ended up bumping into him earlier in the episode. We see that this guy was a Granute, and this Granute was basically luring people in with its with these little candy cakes that he had, and he was luring these people in with it. He had a whole store and everything, and we see how Hunto does encounter him, and Hunto does fight him, and while he's fighting him, the monster does end up running away. When he does run away, Hunto goes looking for him, and when he basically finds the store, he ends up realizing that the guy that he bumped into earlier was the Granute. But we do see earlier in the episode that Hunto did he blamed we get some indigestion diarrhea jokes in this episode, which was weird because I really haven't ever seen that before. But he kind of like falsely accuses the girl's the girl's dance instructor, because these two little girls are trying to be idols and stuff like that. The girl, and also the girl that he met in this episode too. So he kind of blames this guy, but turns out he's not. He's just chilling. He's also worried about the kids. He's also worried about the kids himself. So yeah, so he was like, Hunto apologized to him, but it turns out it was the guy that he bumped into earlier. We do see that Shoma is going through his own little problems with one of the agents comes by. One of the agents comes by and steals his basket of candy, and he goes after the agent, and then the agent leads him to this warehouse area, which he leads him into a trap with the twins, and the twins are basically hooked up the special device or the system to basically fight Shoma. So Shoma has to figure out a way to get through this this fight, like this device that they have, that every time he transforms into one of his forms, the thing would blast him with like a laser, and when he gets hit by the laser, he instantly melts. Like, it will melt his chocolate form, and it will melt his base form. I don't know, he didn't try to turn it to the chip form, because it's chips, so it's not really like a thing that can melt. Yeah, but in this episode, he did try 2 new candies. We see that he tried a lollipop for the first time, and it was like a lollipop, a candy cane, and there was one other one. He had 3 new gochizo in this episode, and when he tries to pick up the lollipop gochizo, he's really heavy. So yeah, so he ends up using the lollipop gochizo to transform into this big, Hulkbuster mecha form, because it resists like the laser that they were shooting at him. It's very tough, and it's resistant to like the melting and things like that. So that's the form he ends up using to take down his brother and sister. But yeah, this form was dope. We see that he ended up using, like I said earlier, he used like he ended up like summoning a big, huge like Gatling gun and taking out the rest of them and stuff like that. But yeah, we also see that Hunto is, after he ends up fighting the monster gets away, and he can't find the guy. And he did save another kid earlier in the episode as well by, trying to, like, from the monster who was trying to get the kid with his tongue in the tunnel. And I'm like, oh, thank God he saved these children. But yeah, also Hunto, after he ends up defeating them, after he ends up like looking for the monster and can't find him, he sees that the shop that the monster was in completely disappears and stuff like that. And also, he was supposed to meet the little girl at the park, but we see that she ends up getting kidnapped by the monster at the end of the episode. But yeah, this episode supposed to be a 2-parter. Next episode, Valen is going to see Shoma's new form. Yeah, he's going to see his new form and stuff like that, and we're actually going to end up defeating the monster and getting the kids back and stuff like that, which is going to be dope. I can't wait to see Valen's reaction when he sees this new form that he has, and I'm really hoping to see what new forms that Valen is going to have. We saw like some, if you've seen leaks, spoilers, but it seems like Valen is going to get like a donut form, a chocolate donut form. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. It looks dope from the scans and stuff that I have seen. But if you haven't seen it, it's out there. Might not be the final product yet, but it's out there. But yeah, this episode was very cool. This episode was dope. Great for a debut episode for a new form. Hopefully, I wonder how many times we're actually going to see this form. This form seems like it's going to be like his true strength form, because the marshmallow form seemed like it is a strength form, but it's also really good for defense, and it's also good for molding and shaping and stuff like that. But this form just seems like it's just strict power, and it seems like it has like phenomenal destructive power with how it, based on how it looks. It seems like it's gonna have really good like big and destructive power. But yeah, I wonder how the twins are going to be able to deal with this, because Big Bro is basically giving them 10 days to figure out some stuff. So I feel like they're going to be pulling out all the stops when it comes down to stopping Shoma and taking down Shoma. Yeah, like just to get all their stuff back, and eventually they're going to get to the point where they say, hey, we're just going to fight them ourselves. And we have seen what their Granute form looks like, the 2 cats. But yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But other than that, this episode was dope. Great new form. I'm hoping that we get to see like more of what it can do in the next episode. Whew. But other than that, I'm gonna see you guys next time. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Remember, as I always say, stay henshined.